Good Abend, folks. Right, a special beer today. Very special beer. I've never had it before, but I just know it's going to be a very special beer, and its specialness is twofold. First of all, it's by Black Sheep, which are one of my local big brewers. And not only is it by Black Sheep, who are renowned for making good, honest Yorkshire ales, but we've got a Russian Imperial Stout out of them. Imperial Stout. In fact, they've twisted it in their favour a little bit. They've called it Imperial Russian Stout, even though it's a Russian Imperial Stout. But yeah, which would, I love Russian Imperial Stouts, and the fact that we've got one out of Black Sheep is quite special. And the second reason it's special is because it's a very, very limited edition. In fact, they only made 50 barrels of this, so the production's obviously long stopped, I would imagine, and well, it has. So whatever is out there in circulation is what there is. So the chances are I'm never going to have this beer again. So yeah, and it's 8.5% volume, which is about right for a Russian Imperial Stout. Although you can get stronger. You can get. I've had one that was 10%. That was the Brooklyn Black Chocolate Stout, which is one of the nicest beers I've ever had. So I'm kind of judging things by that standard. But this is Black Sheep, and Black Sheep are always good. And the reason I decided to make it a Russian Imperial Stout was, it explains a bit on the side there if you care to read it, but something called the Great Baltic Adventure in 2011, which they recreated the trip by sea from London to St. Petersburg to the court of Catherine the Great and blah blah blah. Basically the trip that Russian Imperial Stouts would have made back when they were first made, and don't forget they were heavily hopped, and they were strong to survive the journey overseas. And obviously they were made for the Tsar's court and things, and so they had to be, really good quality beers. That's why they call them Imperial Russian Stouts, or Russian Imperial Stout. But yeah, so deliciously dark, strong and powerful. I'm rather looking forward to this. Yeah. So if you see this review and you decide you want one, then I'm sure you'll probably find one, on a website somewhere. It might be expensive because it's limited edition. I got this out of a pub in York, believe it or not. It's called the Maltings. Sell a lot of good speciality beers, and they just had a small supply. So like I say, whatever's out there now is what there is. So grab one.
How much did it cost?
How much did it cost? Well, don't forget it was.
No, it's limited edition. So how much did it cost?
My mother bought it me. I don't know, because the pubs like that have these speciality beers on tend to sort of charge an arm and leg anyway. Like there's one in Northampton charges about £3.50 for a bottle. So this is probably about the same. It's probably about £3.50, maybe close to £4, something like that. But you pay that for a speciality beer in a pub like that anyway. So yeah, but if you were to buy this from a website or a shop or something, I don't think it would cost that much. Right, anyway. Ooh. I've been to the Black Sheep Brewery several times. It's got that smell that you get when you go around there, which I can only describe if you go. I can't describe it, you have to go and find out yourself. It's a nice sweet, nice malty smell. I suppose a typical beer brewing smell. But there's something special about the Black Sheep Brewery. And I only live 25 minutes away from it, which is handy. Ooh, fizzy. Right, well I'm only going to pour a little bit because obviously it's not bottle conditioned. I'm just going to swirl it round and smell it. And it's a 330ml bottle, obviously, because it's 8.5% strength. Normally when you buy a Black Sheep beer they come in 500ml bottles because they're ales, but this isn't. Right. It's got a fairly off-white head. Not as brown as I've seen them because it's not that strong. Not lacing a great deal, to be honest. It's quite fizzy and going quite quickly. It looks fairly light-bodied, to be fair. That'll probably be something to do with the spring water they use. But yeah, it's not pitch black. Actually, no, there's slight ruddy hues if you hold it up to the light. But it's more or less black. Can't really see through it. So yeah, it's the lightest looking Imperial Stout I've come across, actually. Big peaty, earthy malt smell. Bit of dark chocolate on the nose as well. Bit of really strong roastiness. And I'm smelling alcohol. Definitely, it's like alcoholic wipes. Well, no, not that bad. I don't mean that bad way, but that strong, powerful alcohol smell you get. I mean, don't forget, I say it's only 8.5. That's nothing outstanding for an Imperial Stout. They're all about that strong. But you can really smell the alcohol in this. Ah man, bit of Marmite in there as well. Actually, it's bizarre. It's a really earthy and a fairly savoury smell. Smell that, Fiona. So yeah, it's nice. Hasn't got the nose in it that black chocolate stout has by Brooklyn, but it's still good. It's really earthy and
another whiskey beer.
Another whiskey beer, yes indeed. Again, see the review for black chocolate stout, Brooklyn black chocolate stout, to understand what she's on about. Yeah, there is a bit of Marmite in there. It's bizarre. Well, that'll be the yeast. Marmite being yeast extract. Fiona's like, taste it. I've got it. How long have we got left?
A minute.
Get lost. How long have we got left?
3.5 minutes.
Right, so I'm going to top that up and we're going to taste it, see it in all its glory. That's a really interesting smell. It's nice, but it's quite a savoury smell. So I'm not expecting this. I'm expecting this to be fairly dry on the taste. That head don't want to hang around. Oh, it's not so bad now. Right. Down the hatch then. Cheers. Ooh. Oh, aye. Still a Yorkshire beer. This. Yeah, I don't care if it's an Imperial Russian Stout. It's still a Yorkshire beer. It's got that vibe. Despite what I was saying about I expect it to be a dry beer, you get dryness in the finish. To start off with, it's sweet. But you do get that savoury taste going on there. It's quite complex. A quick taste before I round this off and say more about it than it tastes nice. Tastes dark. I mean, it says recommended is 13 degrees, which is about cellar temperature, so that's a bit warm to be honest. It was room temperature. I had the fridge for about 25 minutes.
It is a bit warm.
But those beers you don't want cold because you ruin taste. But yeah, it could do with being a bit cooler because it's got quite a light body for an Imperial Stout. It's not thick and sickly and syrupy.
Tastes burnt.
Tastes burnt, which is true.
Tastes like Marmite.
You can taste the Marmite. Yeah,
yeah, don't really taste like Marmite. It tastes awful.
Although I wouldn't fancy spraying. Perhaps you could dip your toast in this. That might taste quite nice. Yeah, it's got a malt, obviously the malt taste, but quite a savoury malt taste with the burnt maltness. Burnt maltness? Burntness of the malt. Mmm. It's really yeasty. In fact, if you drink too much, yeah, it really is yeasty. If you drink too much of this, you probably contract Candida albicans or something.
Good to know.
Don't let me put you off. I was only joking.
Comes with a government health warning.
Yeah, we'll catch a yeast infection if drunk, yeah, in excessive quantity. It's really nice. Black Sheep is if you taste Rigwelter, it's got a bit of that vibe sort of about. That's a dark ale. It's the same malt, same roasty malt. It's like a strong. I've only had a couple of sips and I'm steaming. Strong Rigwelter. Rigwelter's 5.7. A stronger version of Rigwelter with slightly. It's sweeter than that because Rigwelter's really dry. So we'll do that one time as well. It's with sweeter notes and it's definitely yeasty. It's got an earthy, outdoorsy, savoury funk to it, and it's really nice. It's one to savour. You want to really get all them tastes out. Fairly carbonated, quite a light body. Served colder than I have. Yeah, doesn't lay so much. It's just like it's really liquidy, but it's good. It's sipping, but it's easy to drink. Yeah, limited edition, so grab one, seriously folks. It's a taste sensation, that's for sure. Black Sheep Imperial Russian Stout. If you can get one, do. Cheers.